I know that's gonna get the finger. What's up, everybody? This is Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob.
Hey, what's up, guys? Jeremy, Super Social Club. What's going on?
Just waiting for this thing to kick in so I can mute it. Then again,
I think that it.
There we go. So we got already a few guys in the chat. We got Richie Z, my boy. What's going on, Richie Z?
What's up, Richie?
Whiskey Dong's in the house. How are you, my friend? John Watson or Watson? How would you pronounce that?
Watson.
Watson, right? We got Steve A, Insectica. What's going on? Can we do a little plug for Insectica tonight?
Yeah, we should do a plug for
I think
Insectica.
we should, right?
Yeah, go check out myhorribleplace.com or on YouTube, My Horrible Place. Little everything horror themed podcast. They actually just shot an episode today.
It's pretty badass. I've been listening to them. I'm a huge horror movie buff. Well, nowhere near as much as Caitlin, obviously, or maybe even yourself. But I love them. I love horror movies. So listening to their podcast kind of like kicks in that nostalgia because it's a lot of like the classics in discussion and stuff like that, which is awesome. So.
Yeah, actually, we just went to go see the new Annabelle movie.
Oh, nice. How was that?
I liked it. I thought it was really good.
Nice.
So they're going to do an episode on that in a couple weeks, or not this upcoming week, but the following week, I believe.
Very cool.
So yeah, should be good. Look up for that.
Awesome. They're doing an awesome job. The other lady is
Jen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We have a pretty cool lineup tonight.
We got some Pete going, little Isla session, little independent bottle Caol Ila lineup. I'm excited for this.
You added an extra to the mix. I wasn't anticipating this. They weren't anticipating this. So to your surprise and my own, I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna click it. We got my Caol Ila Connoisseur's Choice. 2005, 52%, 13-year-old Gordon MacPhail. Then we got an oldie but a goodie. He just popped this, so this is his second bottle of the Cask Strength Gordon MacPhail 2004. What is this, 11 years old?
It's a 10 and a half, so it was distilled halfway through 2004, bottled, 2015, right at the beginning of 2015.
Nice.
So yeah, almost an 11-year-old.
First fill and refill sherry butts on that one.
Yeah, 4 cask members. That if you are an Ontario person, you might recognize that. That was at the LCBO a couple years ago, I think. That particular one. And
then last but not least, the bottle we split a while back. It's 11 years old, so we're all like in the low, decade.
They're pretty comparable, these three whiskeys. So it'll be interesting to see them.
Yeah, this is the only. It's a refill hogshead, so I'm assuming that's a sherry cask, and then an ex-bourbon cask. So I guess that means there's 2 casks involved in this one. No, I think that's just a refill hogshead ex-bourbon.
Okay.
So maybe I don't know. Anyway, 292 bottles in this one. SMWS, 11 years old, Caol Ila.
Yeah, that would make sense, because if you compare colors, you're getting, this is really light.
The lightest compared. Yeah, so smoked salt orange peel for those of you who enjoy the SMWS names. So we're going to start with, I guess, the Connoisseur's Choice, or you want to go left to right?
That's interesting. I think we should let's do these two, and then we'll see, because,
these are most similar.
Right.
Do you think maybe we should go ex-bourbon and
into
sherry?
First, then sherry? All right.
Because it should be a bit lighter.
Let's do that.
Cheers.
Cheers, yeah. Almost summertime for you.
Yeah.
Summer vacay.
One more day left of the day job. So these have all been, other than the one in the middle, which is going to, I guess, have a little bit of a disadvantage because the other two have been open for a few months. Although, believe it or not, those are not your typical Whiskey in the Six fill levels. After
I know. I was like, wow, these are like hardly even touched.
So the name on this, I feel like, really speaks to what we're getting on the nose here.
Smoked salt orange peel. Yeah, I do get all of that.
And I would add like a buttery element to it as well.
Even like you get that, like, I don't know, kind of cured meat.
Yeah.
That like I don't know what, pepperoni,
Yeah, like even like a
salami,
ham, that sort of note.
right?
Like
Yeah,
a glazed ham.
yeah, yeah. As soon as you said that, I'm just like, it smells like pineapple too.
Yeah. It's weird because like well, Ardbeg just came out with their regular release of the
Drum.
drum in Canada. So it's not at the LCBO yet, but it's in like parts of Canada.
Okay.
A lot more expensive than the other regular releases. They're all usually around $100, right?
Yeah, I think so. Or like 120,
Yeah, this one in Alberta is like 150,
150.
like 140, 150.
That's expensive.
Yeah. The nose on this is beautiful.
It is really nice. This is really, really nice. And a lot of people say Caol Ila, like independent bottles of Caol Ila, blow away their core range.
Their core range.
And I totally agree. In my experience, that has been true for sure.
So far, that's been true for me as well. The only one that I will say blew me away from their core range, but I'm not even sure if it's technically a core range, is that 18-year-old unpeated.
That's a good one, yeah.
That one was awesome. That was a steal at the LCBO. Remember what we got those for?
Yeah.
Like
they mispriced them.
They missed like $109 for an 18-year-old. Everywhere else was going for like 180 at least. So quite a few people in the chat tonight, although like usual, I don't know how many. So maybe one of my moderators can let me know. We got the Mash and Drum as well. What's going on, Jason? How are you, buddy? We got West Jolly. How are you? We have Dram Dude. Haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Loch Ness, what's going on? We got Steven. How are you, my friend? And we got Casey Goldberg. What's going on, Casey?
What's up, everyone? How you guys doing? This is very like powerful on the palate.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Needs some water.
It's very powerful.
Mm. Yeah, there's some heat there. But wow. Some really nice flavors coming out of that though.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So when I opened both of these bottles, I don't know if I was just expecting too much or what the case, but my first pour out of each of them wasn't like blow me away good. But if it tasted like this then,
right,
this level would be a lot. You'd be getting this bottle a lot faster. So I'm glad I waited. And you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, right? Because I don't know if you caught my recent review of those Glengoynes.
Yes.
But the 12-year-old single cask we all thought was better than the Teapot Dram.
Yep.
And in my opinion, the Teapot Dram got a lot better, and the 12-year-old single cask like went down a few notches, which is crazy. I didn't think that would happen, but
because the 12-year-old, what was it bottled at again?
The 12-year-old was bottled at 56 on the dot, I think. So not small. It's not a small ABV. But honestly, like I'm actually afraid to add a little bit of water to this because that viscosity is beautiful, but I'm gonna add a touch. Guys, I usually edit this out, but I've gotten pretty decent at this. So obviously during my live, I can't. Yeah. Maybe I should get you a regular bottle.
Let me see if I can do that.
Keep these guys entertained for a sec. I'll be right back.
Captain 3D says he's packing up some whiskey samples for people. That's nice. Yeah, sharing is caring. Do a little swap. I did a little whiskey swap today, actually. Traded, what did I get? Traded away one of my Stag Juniors. I think it was like batch, I want to say batch 10 or 11 for a Glendronach and a Balblair.
Which Balblair?
I don't know. What's the one that the LCBO they had? That was 91? No.
91.
91.
Like the $300 one?
No.
Was it a 99?
Yeah.
99,
Maybe.
like $170.
That's not admit that. 99.
This is really nice, man. This is really nice.
Richard is asking, what's your shirt with the playing card? One of the greatest frontmans of all time. Little Freddie Mercury.
Freddie.
Queen himself.
The Queen himself. So, man, that's really nice. Captain 3D's in the house. What's going on, man? Should we try all of them and then kind of go back and
Sure.
grade as best as we can? We can go Narvi style with the cap.
I always freaking harass him for that. He's got a freaking, $3,000 bottle. He's just like, oh, this.
Sometimes it's like a $3,000 dram.
That's true.
All right, so I'm moving on to the cast strength, but that first SMWS one was really, really nice. Oh wow, that's different. So, Caol Ila is Diageo. Diageo has Caol Ila probably has thousands and thousands and thousands of casks.
Right.
And it seems like they're pretty willing to sell casks in and around the 10, even like a little younger, maybe 8 to 15-year range. Because a lot of independent bottlers end up with those. But I feel like they're almost best at that range. I feel like that's their money spot.
Yeah, I mean, you look at these independent bottles, they're all bottled between 10 and 13 years. I mean, they're not doing that by mistake.
Yeah, true.
Obviously, Caol Ila, one of the ingredients in Johnny Walker.
Steven, thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. He says, hey, man, you are the best YouTuber that's growing. Thank you so much, my friend. Cheers, buddy.
So this one for me, more like baked goods.
Yeah. Something dessert-like on the nose.
Right?
Yeah. It's almost like a vanilla soft cake with some sort of strawberry syrup drizzled on top or something like that. I don't know, maybe not strawberry, but some sort of compote. Anthony, what's going on, buddy? Now that we said pineapple, though, I keep getting a pineapple. I keep getting some. This is like roasted pineapples.
On the palate too. On the palate is a lot of pineapple, and I think actually that's one of the. I want to say it's one of the tasting notes listed on here was pineapple. Yeah. Sweet cured meats with hints of pineapple, kiwi, and ripe banana. Palate is passion fruit, pear, and bonfire embers.
That's really nice.
That sounds so good.
It is so good though. I love Caol Ila's peat style. They kind of remind me of. I want to say they remind me of Highland Park, but not really.
I was gonna say, are they somewhere on the peat scale between Highland Park and Ardbeg? They're
exactly
somewhere right in the middle.
It's not muddy like an Ardbeg, but it's not heathery like a.
Right.
It's somewhere. It's like that char note that you would get from a Highland Park, but it doesn't go away like a Highland Park char note would go away.
It's really kind of right in the middle of almost all of Isla stuff because it's not I get just the smallest bit of medicinal, but you also get campfire smoke too.
Yeah, I think they lean more towards a campfire than a medicinal. I think that's actually the best way to say it.
Yeah.
Even Lagavulin, they're more medicinal than this, even though they're a lightly peated. I find lightly peated whiskey. You know what I mean?
And I get those Lagavulin 12s. You get a lot of campfire smoke in them too.
Yeah. So I would say, if there was a spectrum from campfire to medicinal, Caol Ila's here, Lagavulin's here, then maybe Ardbeg, Lefroy, or you can probably go back and forth with depending on the type of bottle you got.
Yeah, that is good. Whiskey is performing so well for a neck pour. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Even what we're getting out of the nose is pretty crazy considering. Mash and Drum with the super
Drum.
chat. What's going on? Thank you so much, buddy. He said, just poured a sample of SMWS cigar and mojito. That sounds phenomenal.
What is that?
Great jam. Great live, fellas. Cheers, buddy. Thank you so much.
Cigar and mojito.
It's the season for that kind of stuff, though, right? Like mojito flavor, the pineapple we keep talking about.
Right. Summer flavors.
Summer flavors, like the Milk Shark that we just picked up today. Is like Coke. It's a beer. It's a stout. A stout? Not really. It's a milkshake IPA.
Milkshake IPA. It's an IPA with lactose.
Yeah. But it's got like coconut, pineapple, vanilla, and lactose in it.
It tastes like pina colada.
Did you add water to this one?
No. I'm gonna do it. Eric Wade's like, I finally started watching Game of Thrones.
Better late than never.
As soon as the hype's over, then you start watching it.
I did that with Breaking Bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I didn't enjoy it that way as much as like all the other people that watch week by week.
Breaking Bad is one of my favorite television series of all time.
Huh. He's saying, yeah, it's a really good pour. It does have some mint too.
Jason, what distillery is that? Or what's the number? I mean, this whiskey is so good.
Yeah, that's really nice. Whiskey Throttle in the house. Haven't seen him in a while.
I don't know what's going on.
Daniel, he's saying, huh? That's his line when he peeks outside the window and sees those rascally kids playing ball hockey on the street again.
1 foot on a blade of grass and you're right out there shaking your cane. Richie Z is asking if we like the series Dexter. My girlfriend was a huge fan of it. Honestly, I didn't get into it. I didn't get into it too much.
I loved it until much like all HBO series.
Final season.
Like season finale / final season. Yeah, not so good. To listen back a few seconds, Robbie. I don't know what I said. I probably said something inappropriate. Eric Wade saying, God is like someone took Dungeons and Dragons and turned it into a porno.
It's a pretty good description.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Although it's like way cooler than Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. No offense to any of the Dungeons and Dragons fans.
You should have been a part of an epic D&G session before, Rob.
I never
know.
That's one thing I can honestly say. I
know.
I don't know. You're right. Insectica saying that I'm right about Dexter series. Honestly, all of them. True Blood, Dexter. Ray Donovan, I only got through like 3 seasons, and then that was like too much. What's the other one? There's another one that was like, it started off pretty decent, but then the violence and the sex just got ridiculously out of hand. Banshee. Banshee's another one that was just like,
never saw that.
I can't think of an HBO series that I was like, wow, that ended incredibly. Like, they are notorious for botching the ending.
They really are. Oh, I just picked up this the other Gordon McPhail.
Yeah.
Man, that nose is good.
This is why, like, I fell in love with Caol Ila on the 30-year anniversary of Whiskey in the Sticks, that party that we did.
Yeah.
Remember that? And then
yeah.
It looked a lot like this bottle.
It was just a different vintage year, but it was that bottling.
It was that bottling.
This one comes out. Well, I'm not sure if it's every year, but they have at least like 4 different vintage years of this in recent memory.
Really?
Yeah.
I honestly feel like we're gonna regret not getting more of this cast strength series, because as they move to their newer bottles, I feel like there's been a bit of a drop off. Oh man, the nose on that last one.
Right.
So we're on this Caol Ila, the Gordon McPhail Connoisseur's Choice now. It's a Caol Ila 2005. So For those of you that are just tuning in, the SMWS is a Caol Ila 11-year-old bottled in 2006. It's ex-bourbon. This one here is a 2004 bottled in 2015, and it's first fill and refill sherry. And then the one on the far end is 13 years old, and it's just first fill sherry butts, 52%. And the nose on it is phenomenal. Oh my gosh.
The nose on this is crazy.
That's bonkers.
You know what number 53 is in SMWS?
Oh,
Caol Ila.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we should know that because right behind us is number 53.
Hey. So Mash and Drum, Jason. So he's got Caol Ila. That's the mojitos and cigar smoke. 23-year-old.
I could see how they can pull like a mojito note from, like almost you could almost like see it in like this third one actually.
Yeah.
So like
little mintiness in there.
Minty. Question answered. All Caol Ila.
Yes.
Oh, he asked if there was a babbler. Sorry, my bad.
All Caol Ila.
All Caol Ila, yep. This last one, again, the neck pour was not good. Not that it was bad. Sorry, I shouldn't say not good, but not what I was expecting. But now, that's really nice.
Yeah, again, more like dessert, baked goods, kind of nose finish of that.
Yeah. Richie Z's right. He says, it's great you're featuring Caol Ila tonight. It is sometimes overshadowed by its other Isla brothers. I agree. Caol Ila is slowly becoming one of my favorite distilleries as a whole. Just because it's a little more subtle than everything else. You know what I mean? It's not so like punch you in the face with my Pete, which sounds so fucking wrong. So wrong. But you know what I mean? It's not like we're going to overpower you with a crazy sherry cask. They don't want that to happen. They want something a little more subtle, which will let the distillery speak for itself kind of thing.
Like Caol Ila official bottlings, did they have anything at cask strength? I feel like no.
Just the unpeated series that we've and the 30-year-old that we had. That's
30. Okay, yeah, 30-year-old's cask strength. And okay, in the unpeateds.
And the unpeated, all
the
of the 15, 17,
17.
and the 18, which makes no sense.
Right.
Why would you do a 15, then a 17, and then decide to put on an 18 as well? I don't get it.
Because you can.
27 in the chat right now. Right on, guys. Whiskey Throttle saying, but back to a hat for Jeremy.
Oh, Throttle said before that he's like, what? You don't have a hat for Jeremy? I don't think. I think my hair is offensive. It needs to be covered.
So this one's 52%. It drinks a little like less hot than the other two, but I'm gonna add water anyway. Not that honestly, none of these are offensive at cask strength, in my opinion. Like I could easily go through a dram dangerously through all three of these. I'm not adding very much water either. DH Silves is in the house. He's saying Stitzel Reserve. If you guys hang around in a little bit, we're going to be kicking off the American Whiskey Month with batch 2 of this Kentucky Owl. This is the 11-year-old Kentucky Owl Rye, 50.9%. This is batch 2. So if you guys are familiar with my channel, I reviewed batch 1 when it first came out, actually, and I really love that stuff. I thought it was awesome rye. So I'm really curious what this one's going to be like. But all of the month of July, Jeremy's probably going to jump in on a bunch of reviews as well. We'll be doing American Whiskey Month on my channel, and I've acquired some interesting bottles. I've actually been able to pick up another George T. Stagg, which will be my 400th video.
Ooh.
And the reason why it's my 400th video is it's a redemption video. So I'm going to be reviewing George T. Stagg 2017 because it's one of my favorite George T. Staggs that I've tasted so far. But mainly because back in the day when I reviewed my George T. Stagg from like the first year I had the channel, I literally like, it was like a disgrace to the bottle. Like I probably watered it down.
The review was terrible, or
the review was terrible, but like it wasn't so much the review; it was the amount of water I added to this George T. Stagg. It was like I probably
pulled a Ralphie and just kept adding.
Yeah, I feel like I watered it down to like 38% or something like that. So it's a redemption video for review number 400 coming up in July.
If only you knew the cap method, you would have overwatered it. Did you just pour too much water in from a water bottle?
Yeah, I must have. Yeah, something like that. It was my old water bottle. Kevin's in the house. He's saying, are you finally going to do the Stranahan's Sherry Cask? I am, and I actually also bought a Diamond's Peak, which I think you guys are going to be interested when I have them side by side. I won't have Jeremy here for that one because he seems to not like the Stranahan's too much.
Got nothing against him. I'm not blown away like you were.
I'm impressed by.
Kevin's always like, oh, you should review the Stranahan's.
Yeah, so that's going to definitely be coming.
Well, I'll borrow the bottle off of you, and I'll do a review of it separately.
Yeah, no problem. Well, I got both now, so you can take
you
both.
both.
Yeah, I got the Diamond's Peak and the Sherry. Oh, and I got a sample thanks to our boy, the Mash and Drum Jason, of a barrel pick cask strength, single cask.
Is that like a distillery only release?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I'm gonna find out more details from him before I throw that in the mix. But Whiskey Dong is saying, will you be reviewing any American single malts? So yeah, the Stranahan's Sherry and the Stranahan's Diamond Peak, I believe, are both single malts. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Sorry, but I'm almost 100% sure that those are. Rob, you should get some Balcones single malt. Honestly, I would love to, but it's just not available up here. Like, we can't find it. And so, Eric, if you want to be a gentleman and drive up to Canada, I will have you on my channel. You can stay the night and
Drink some Balcones.
Drink some Balcones, and I'll give you whatever else I have in my collection as well. We gotta mark these now.
Wow.
They all share obviously a very similar profile.
I'm leaning towards the two that have sherry influence.
I like the espresso note that I get from the sherry connoisseur's choice. It's on the finish, and the way I can describe espresso to you, like I don't know if you've ever had it before.
I have. I don't drink it regularly though.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of like a dark chocolate mixed with like something like burning, almost.
Yeah, I totally
like a char and dark chocolate.
Yeah, it's like over roasted like coffee beans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get that. That's nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. Really, really good. All right, I'm gonna take a sip of each of these one more time. But honestly, I feel like these are all really close to a 90 for me.
I'm just gonna rate them in preference of what I prefer.
Yeah, and then you can borrow the bottles and do it all. Well, one of them is half yours, one of them is yours, and then the other one you can borrow. Eric Wade saying, or meet in Glasgow next Saturday. Yeah, I don't know about that, man.
Well, you can't get up and go to Glasgow on a week's notice?
Well, I probably could, but I love my wife and kids and would like to not have to only see them on evenings and, and every other weekend.
Every other weekend. So much more time for reviewing and drinking. Though.
True, that's a good point. Also more time to like get into like drunken stupors and hate my life.
Incredible whiskeys. I'm gonna go The connoisseur's choice is my favorite. The nose is the best for sure. Then I'm gonna go with this one, the cask strength, and then bringing up the rear is the SMWS. I just like the sherry influence on these two. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Not to take anything away from the SMWS, it's a great whiskey as well.
Interesting. I don't want to be different just for the sake of being different, but I feel like I do have a difference. I really like the one that you brought.
Yeah. And for a neck pour, I mean, my goodness. Whiskey Dong is saying that we are Canadian version of Mike and Narby.
We've been called Mike and Narby small or
junior,
something like that.
Light.
That's the one.
Well, that's a huge compliment because I look up to those guys and I love their channel.
Yeah, their channel is awesome. So he's saying it's a compliment, which I would take it as nothing but, because those guys are great guys. I don't know, man. I really like this first one too.
The meatiness you get on these two with that cured meat, it really comes through on the finish. I love that. With the fruit, like the tropical fruit, cured meat.
Lachlan is saying, Rob's in party mode tonight. The school year is done. I got one more day. Unfortunately, my board doesn't have a professional development day tomorrow, so students will still be at school. I will still be at school. But like every great grade A teacher out there, I planned a trip for tomorrow, and we will be walking to Dairy Queen to have some ice cream.
On you.
Well,
I guess if you have like 30 kids, that could be pretty expensive.
Yeah, Dairy Queen's not cheap. It's like $5 for a cone.
Right, yeah.
So 5 times 30. It's not cheap. It's like $150. That is $150.
Yeah, this connoisseur's choice. Oh my goodness. What was the price on this one?
I want to say that one was around 140, 130. It was less than the SMWS.
Yeah. It
was less than the SMWS for sure. So maybe 120. There's a 2005 or 2006 Hermitage or whatever. Caol Ila, we tried it at the Spirit of Toronto. Do you remember?
Yeah.
There's a Gordon MacPhail, and that was really nice too. It was only like 45% or something like that, but it was really, really nice. Kilojolt is saying, that's awesome. Where were you when I was in school? I don't know, man. I was probably in school as well.
Richie Z saying, with that cured meat note, is there that saltiness? Yeah, definitely. There's definitely a lot of saltiness with it as well.
Yeah.
In fact, this one's even called salt, right?
Yeah, it's smoked salt orange peel.
So you're gonna rank it? What's your favorite?
Damn, that's so hard.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what? I have a bad habit of picking the one that's so different than the rest, and not because it's the best, but because it stands out the most to me. So I love the buttery note of the SMWS one. Like, it's like something that you can really only acquire with an ex-bourbon cask, and a really good ex-bourbon cask. You know what I mean? But
Kevin's saying that the Spirit of Toronto Caol Ila that we tried was the Gordon and MacPhail Discovery Series.
Oh.
Is that right?
Doesn't sound right, but
I got a picture of it somewhere.
I will go with whatever Kevin says, because he definitely knows more than I do.
Well, he probably remembers better than I do.
Yeah. I'm going to say on the nose, I got to go with, oh man, that's so hard though. Can't make a decision. I'm going to say you're right. The connoisseur's choice is the best on the nose. On the palate, Wow. That SMWS though is so good that it's making it very difficult for me to not. But this one's good too. Okay, so the tobacco note that I get on the palate of the cask strength is really the only critique I have of that whiskey. But that's not a bad thing. Like some people love that note. I'm just not digging it. Not that I'm not digging it. I'm just trying to find something to actually like separate these three. Okay, so as far as nose goes, I'm gonna go connoisseur's choice, cask strength, but the cask strength is really good too. Then the SMWS, and then as far as palate goes, I'm gonna go SMWS, connoisseur's choice, cask strength. So I don't know if I should mark these now, but I do want to mark them. So honestly, they're so close. I don't know, like if you agree, but I would say that I would have no problem giving all three of these an 89 and being okay with that. Okay. Maybe even a 90.
I think the connoisseur's choice is probably like for me it'd be a high 80. I do love this one.
Yeah, the nose actually is
this one.
Show this one.
Yeah.
That's the winner for me. Great stuff.
So there's a bunch of comments before. Kev saying spirit of, oh, you read that already, right? Thanks, but definitely not. I guess he's talking about my comment earlier. Steve A is saying SMWS does such good work. I do agree with that. We've loved pretty much everything we've tried from SMWS. I will say though, I don't appreciate their prices. I feel like their prices are a little bit unreasonable. Like, why is Gordon MacPhail, a much older company, able to charge so much less for like the average 13-year-old SMWS is probably 150 plus, sometimes upwards of like $200. The average Gordon MacPhail is like $100.
I bet you if you ask someone who's been into SMWS a while, I bet you they would be like, prices have increased.
Yeah, they have.
Like significantly. So maybe that, I don't know.
I find that these two are the most smoke. The SMWS one and the connoisseur's choice one.
Like Pete.
Yeah.
And Kevin was asking, is SMWS worth it? I think like for us to split on the membership and then to split the samples and then kind of decide what we want to get and split those bottles.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot more practical as far as costs.
Yeah.
And even if we had like someone else in it, or even like 4 people in on it together, would still like be beneficial. It's hard to sample those. The samples are very small pours, so
they're really tiny. They're not even an ounce, right? So we have a box upstairs that we have to get through, but like by the time we get through those, I feel like those bottles are going to be all sold out because we've had them for a while. Killajolt is saying, know of any special releases this year for Canada Day?
I don't think that Wiser's is doing anything like they did for like they did Canada 150. Was that last year, the year before maybe?
Yeah.
I haven't heard of anything. If
They
you
did 2 years in a row.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay. Check out Canada Whiskey Reddit. Like if you just Google search that, those guys are pretty good about posting everything Canadian whiskey related. So I check out that Reddit feed.
I do know that CC, so Canadian Club, is putting the barley what's it called? Barley something? They have a barley edition.
Okay, yeah, we tried that when we tried the 41, right?
Yeah. So if
That
you
one?
buy the 41 now, you get a free barley, whatever it's called.
Free bottle?
Free bottle. Full bottle. So that's a Canada Day special, I guess.
Well, they overpriced that. That barley,
yeah.
they would price it at $60.
So it's $60, yeah. The Mash and Drum is saying, so question for you guys, is the you answered that already?
Is SNWS worth it?
Yeah.
I would say yeah, but splitting it with someone is great.
Yeah, I think splitting, like we did the right thing by splitting it because we split the like entrance fee and then like we usually split every bottle we buy.
Because it seems like each month they're giving you samples of the upcoming releases.
Right.
You're getting what, 6 to 8?
That's right.
A month, 6 to 8 samples a month.
You don't have to get them. Like
you don't have to buy them, but I'm just saying like to go through that and then decide on what you want to get. It adds up quick because suddenly you're buying 2 SMWS, 3 SMWS a month, and you're just like it's overwhelming. So splitting the membership would be my recommendation.
Yeah, absolutely. DH Sales is saying older company gets better price. What is the shocker? Well, it's just I feel like SMWS charges too much. Like they were charging less before. Now that they're making a good name for themselves, they charge an entrance fee. They're charging too much for their bottles.
Well, how about the difference between, let's say, Gordon MacPhail and SMWS? Gordon MacPhail, big company, owns Ben Riach, has access to their casks, has a warehouse. They can buy distillate. They can mature themselves. They can release. SMWS, I'm not sure if they're just buying casks and then bottling them. Is that what they do? Do they have a warehouse they store? Do they buy casks and distillate and mature themselves? I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know. If they do, then obviously the cost of what they're doing goes up, right?
Yeah.
If they're just buying casks and bottling, then there's no storage fee. Like they're just flipping. DH Sales is basically saying, like, what's so hard to understand? Because Gordon MacPhail is getting better prices on their casks because they've been around for so much longer, so they get preferential treatment by distilleries, essentially. I don't know if I agree with that. I think maybe it's possible, but I don't know. Usually the older company charges more. The more well-known company charges more, right? Like you got Macallan versus Glengoyne, right? And the more well-known company is charging more for their product. So, which if you follow that formula, then Gordon MacPhail would be charging more than SMWS, right?
SMWS also subscription service more or less, right? Like,
and that's the thing. They're making money on you being a group. Like, I guess that maybe limits them because they can't technically sell to everybody, but they've made it that way themselves. Steve A is saying SMWS buys distillate and ages in their own barrels. Richie Z is saying, Rob, is there an index of all SMWS releases even after they've sold out? I believe they have that on their website.
I'm not sure.
I think they do. I'm
not sure.
These were really good.
I was very impressed with all of them. And that, Caol Ila, like independent bottle and Caol Ila is the way to go. Like, you can find some gems out there for sure.
I'm gonna be honest. I have yet to try their 18-year-old regular release, the one that's peated.
I like their peated 18.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't tried that one. The 12-year-old, I don't even think I've tried.
Oh, really?
I don't even think I've tried it because it's not available anywhere.
It's more like a basic whiskey, in my opinion.
Yeah.
43. Chill filter, most likely.
Michael Manganiello is saying, do you guys find SMWS gimmicky with their unique names and notes? I think it's cool. I think they use those names to kind of describe what you're going to get out of the whiskey, and I think 9 times out of 10 they're right. You know what I mean? Smoked salt, orange peel. You can definitely get those things in this whiskey. Mm-hmm. Sizzled in salted butter. I didn't read that earlier, but I honestly got a buttery note in this one.
Some of the descriptors on whiskeys can get a little obnoxious. Obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. It's like we just see through that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're trying these before we buy them. If you're just going on like the descriptors and that's your information for buying it, then yeah, that's a tough one because you read like even like any descriptors, like the descriptor on this one, right? This sounded amazing too. Sweet cured meats with hints of pineapple, kiwi, ripe banana, palate as passion fruit, pear, and bonfire embers. Like, of course.
Yeah.
Right? If you have a Glendronach 21, go look at the descriptors on that one. It's ridiculous. I was reading it the other day. Out of control.
Really?
How like fancy the marketing team came up with the descriptor on that. But yeah, these are good things, man.
Yeah. DHLs is saying bigger companies get better economy of scale. Smaller companies don't have that. Yeah, but they tend to abuse the fact that they've been bigger around for longer. So I don't know. We can go back and forth all day here. I just whatever. I think SMWS should charge less. That's it. Period. A 10-year-old cask strength whiskey. Okay, yeah, it's one cask. Yeah, you want to make money off that cask, but they're selling so much nowadays. And like if you go on their website, most of their stuff sells out. Mm-hmm. It's very rare where something lingers, whether it's good or not. So I don't know. And they're raising prices. They're not dropping prices as they get bigger. So I don't know. Steve A says, agreed. The names tend to be evocative of the taste from SMWS. I agree. I think they're usually bang on.
Yeah. But again, like that whole like power of suggestion, right? Like you read the word pineapple in a descriptor and boom, you pick up pineapple.
Yeah, exactly. How many times do you say a tasting note and I'll be like, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
Not that it's not there, but power of suggestion is very tricky.
Yeah, but sometimes you can't put a word to like fit what you're experiencing, right?
Sure. Steve
A saying Glendronach 21, yum. Narby actually told me he bought a recent bottling of Glendronach 21. He actually told me this yesterday. And he was disappointed in the color. And it's not that we judge a book by its cover. We're not judging the whiskey by its color. But when you notice like a decline in the color of a whiskey over like bottlings, you know what I mean? Like it does leave a sour taste in your mouth because you're like, how come 5 years ago when this whiskey was actually supposed to be younger, it was way darker than it is 5 years later? Like that's kind of discouraging.
Well, the simple answer is just percentage of first fill whiskey in it.
Right. But Glendronach 21, according to that scale, should be continuing to get older until I think it's like 2027.
Right.
So if that's true, then it should be getting darker, no?
Not necessarily. Not if they're using
depending on
older
the casks,
second fill stuff.
Maybe, I guess, yeah. So it's older, but it's not as much first fill content.
Right. Yeah. I think that's a lot of people's concern or complaints about Macallan 18 over the years. It's got eventually more and more refill casks, less and less first fill sherry.
Yeah. Michael is saying, have you guys tried stuff from Boutique Whiskey Company?
No, but I've heard Narby is a big component of like pumping that Boutique company. He's had Macallan's from there, the Springbanks he's had from there. He said they're all amazing stuff. So
there's 2 Springbanks I have my eye on from that company, and I'm probably gonna buy both.
I want to see. I was just looking at UK auctions today because I want that Boutique Springbank Port
21.
I need that. Yeah,
I'll go splits on that with you. If you want.
We'll get Jasper on it.
Yeah, we should get Jasper.
But I mean, just to go back to that Springbank, I want to source as much Springbank port matured whiskey as I can.
After that 21.
because that 21 that they came out this year that had that port, I mean, it's just so good. And like Narby loves that Springbank port from Boutique.
Yeah,
we got to get ourselves some Springbank port.
I am shocked at how good that Springbank 21 is. Like it hurts my heart a little bit.
It's so drinkable that you can just devour a dram, and you're like, where did it go?
I have like a heel left and a full bottle upstairs, and I'm still like, I still get anxiety every time I think about that bottle because I want another one. Like that's how much I like it, but it's too expensive to be at like regular opening, like a bottle to open.
It's too much money.
It's like, well, like the average price is around $400 for that bottle, Canadian. So it's just too much.
Yeah.
Richie Z is saying, is there a limit per customer on any given SMWS bottle? That I don't know. I don't think there is, though. I think it's basically first come, first serve based on the store you're buying from and what's accessible to you.
Right. In like different areas of the world that get different casks, right?
Yeah.
Like we're going to have access to stuff that UK won't, and vice versa.
Yeah.
US, Canada, whatever.
Yeah. Casks are made exclusively for Alberta. Casks are made exclusively for Scotland, for England, for wherever, you know what I mean? So I don't think we're usually not getting the same casks. But I will say that Abundance of Fruitcake, I saw the Scotch 4 dummies had it as well.
Okay.
So that's one commonality I've noticed. But yeah, I don't think there's a limit.
Buy as much as you want.
Until it's gone.
Richie Z, what's the story on North Star? I've only really had 2 North Stars. It seems like they're kind of making headway in the independent bottle game.
A lot of people are liking it.
I think Ralphie had a video or 2 with a North Star bottle. If you follow Whiskey Fun, he's got a lot of North Star reviews up there. They have a wide range of different kind of bottlings. Most recently, we got one. It was a Heaven Hill cask strength 9-year-old.
9-year-old.
Finished in an Ardbeg cask.
Yeah.
Didn't quite deliver the way we were hoping it would. Wasn't the best whiskey.
It was just like it's weird because I didn't get much peat at all,
right,
if any.
Mm-hmm.
But I got like a little bit too much oak.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It wasn't the best. We thought it would be awesome.
Yeah.
Whiskey Dong saying he's a big fan of North Star. Yeah, I mean, I haven't explored their. I know they have some super old stuff, like 35-year-old stuff they threw out there, but haven't got an opportunity to try too much of it.
Yeah, I got my numbers mixed up. Steve A corrected me. He's saying 2023 would be the first year that GlenDronach can bottle the 21-year normal or normally. In 2022, it'll be 27 years.
Right.
Like years old.
And I think 2020 would be the first year the 18 will go back to 18.
Yeah. So
this is the year to buy the Alderdice.
Yeah, sure. The 20, which didn't come to Canada this year.
Wow.
I think that was purposely done. It feels like Scotland's saving the last year of each release for themselves. Like even that happened with the 15-year-old revival. The last year was saved for themselves, and then they waited a year, and then they re-released it as a Pedro Oloroso combo.
Oh, they're saying that Alderdice peaked in 2017? I don't know. Like, if I saw the chart correctly, I'm pretty sure it was 19, but I could be wrong.
I didn't know it was 17 either. Because I had some 2017. I had 4 bottles of that at one point. Drank 2 of them.
That's a good whiskey.
That was a good whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Wade saying, have you ever seen anyone flipping SMWS bottles on the secondary market? I've officially retired from the secondary market. Just because it's, I don't know. I have too much. I have a lot of whiskey that if I started drinking it now, it should last me for a good 20 years.
Forever.
So I'm no longer flipping, but I've heard people.
Eric, to answer your question, Eric, the SMWS, the ones that go for the highest amount of money are the Japanese ones. The Kurosawa, whatever, Yamazaki.
Anything Japanese.
They have a couple Japanese whiskeys that they've done. Those go for crazy money. And Springbanks. The Springbanks go for a lot of money as well.
And they
Usually
stopped
they're
doing-
older.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
older
you can't
Springbanks, too.
like Springbank stopped allowing people to buy their casks. I think 2001.
Okay.
So you had to own a Springbank cask before 2001 in order to be bottling it now.
Right.
Which is why there's a whiskey agency bottle that I've been eyeing for a while. It's a lot of money, but I feel like it's worth the investment because they're not doing anything from Springbank. It's a long grow.
Okay.
It's a long grow.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything from Springbank anymore, or at least whatever comes out was previously purchased.
Mhm.
So I thought that was a cool fact. And the other reason I know that is because I've been inquiring with various distilleries on what will be our first cask to purchase when we do our own independent bottle.
Springbank 50-year-old.
You have to buy that from an independent bottler, though.
2 bottles available, $10,000
Each. And one is ours. And they cost us $5,000 each. We're just trying to make our money back. Steve A is saying they're not doing a quick cutover. They're going to blend it down in age over several years. All right. That's the Glendronach I think he's still referring to.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna open this up. These are all really good, by the way, guys. Honestly, I think I'm very comfortable with giving each one of these an 89 and sticking to that. Maybe like a point here and there. I would probably, like I said, go Connoisseur's Choice, SMWS, cash strength for palate. No. For nose, and then SMWS, Connoisseur's Choice, cash strength for palate, or somewhere along those lines. They're all so similar, so it's really hard to.
Yeah, they're very nice.
But we're gonna move some glasses out of the way here, and we're gonna pop this batch 2 here, Kentucky Owl, 11-year-old. So the retail price on this was $200 to $220
That's how much it
American.
goes for retail?
Retail.
No way.
Yeah. I did see it for a little bit. Like if you go on like sites that do reviews, it says the MSRP or whatever, that's the retail price.
Yeah.
Is about $200.
Wow.
American.
That's like Willet prices.
It's big money. Which is surprising because the first one was a lot cheaper. It was like around 110
For batch 1.
for batch 1. So
they got popular and they jacked the price.
yeah, well they sold out.
Oh no!
It's one of those.
Oh no! Pulled the freaking top right off. Well, at least the cork didn't break. Well, you better be careful.
This is gonna be an interesting one. I'm gonna have to replace this cork.
Yeah.
But
At least it didn't break.
cork didn't break. We're still okay here.
Yeah. I always like, that's why I hate like
wood tops?
popping bottles. Well, it's just like you yank this. I see so many people crack a bottle for the first time and just like fucking yank it off as hard as they can. I'm like, that's gonna happen to you. I mean, you didn't do it that time, but that thing obviously it just came right off. But
Yeah, it's all good.
I don't know if you can glue that back on.
You know what though? Like I'll just replace the cork.
It's a nice topper though. I like that.
It is a nice topper. Get some nice dill notes off of that. All right, so it's open now anyway. Shall I do the honors?
Please. So Mash and Drum said that batch 2 was more expensive, lower ABV, and not as good compared to batch 1, in my opinion.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that.
That's like every whiskey, isn't it?
It's
Isn't that
pretty
like
much-
every like batch 1 to batch 2?
That's life described in a nutshell.
It's like we did something awesome the first time. Let's do it for less and
That's
charge
like
more.
what-
That sounds like lot 40 cash strength, doesn't it?
That sounds like what every parent says forever. They go for the second thinking it's going to be just as good or better. It's always worse.
We can't go through one live without you just like slicing up your family in some chirp. This nose is so good though, right off the pour.
Yeah, I like that.
It's like a nice, like, honestly, this rye it tastes like, or the nose is almost like a high rye bourbon. Like I'm getting that cherry, that stereotypical cherry bourbon note on here.
Well, that's what I love about American rye, like straight ryes.
Yeah.
Like the Michter's like ryes, they're always like that.
I love that.
They're like so bourbony, but like delicious. Even like the Pikesville is a lot like that as well.
I like that too.
High corn content. Steve A said, "Well played with the cork." I've had my I've been around the block a few times with these corks. I've opened a few bottles in my time.
I had a cork break on me, and it was a bottle that was bottled like 6 months prior. So it's not like it was an old dusty sitting somewhere.
Yeah.
It was a brand new bottle. Cracked it.
That's the third time this has happened to me. The first time was with a batch 007 Glendronach Grandeur, which I was like devastated.
Yeah.
The second time it happened, it was an Aaron Brodick Bay 20-year-old, and now this time. But I'm least concerned with this one for whatever reason.
That's a gorgeous rhinos.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
So July 1st starts American Whiskey Month. Guys, I do this once a year, and like I'm noticing that I appreciate American whiskey more and more every year I do this, because it gives me a full month where I literally don't even touch a scotch, because I feel like it'll mess up my palate for that month.
Yeah, might as well hone in if you're doing all the reviews. Right?
Yeah. So I keep it American the entire month, and it works out really, really well. So I plan to do the exact same thing this month. Again, the GTS 2017 will be my 400th review, which is coming up shortly. I think this, or video anyway, not review. I think this is my 396.
Right. Loch Ness said corks made by Trojan.
Richie Z saying broken corks have happened to me on several old Glenmorangie and one old Bunnahabhain. Your heart stops for a second. Yeah, I didn't even realize that just happened. I was like, wait a second.
Scotch Test Dummies just came in. What's going on?
What's going on, Scotty?
Scotty.
I love the nose on this so far. I feel like this is gonna benefit from like some time open, maybe a drop of water or two, but I haven't tasted
101.5 proof.
It's
101.8.
Maybe Jason knows. Is this cask strength or barrel proof? Doesn't say it, so I'm assuming no. But
and if anyone knows the mash bill on this Kentucky Owl, I'd love to see the corn to rye ratio here. I feel like it's got a decent amount of corn in it.
I feel like there's like 55% rye, and then the rest is like corn, and then a little bit of barley.
I would say I would say it's at least 30% corn.
Yeah,
which seems
up there. TH Sills is saying, my first cork issue, I made 15 an hour. I bought a 21 Glenlivet. The whole cork more or less fell apart in the bottle. That's a nightmare. I've never spent 100, let alone 200 at that time.
Yeah,
that's devastating, man. I feel you, man. That's a rough one.
Like your first big purchase, and then you're just like, I'm so excited, and the cork just explodes on you.
That's
brilliant. And when it falls into the bottle, and you gotta fish it, and it's like decant and bleh. Sucks.
That doesn't need a drop of water, man. Did you try it yet?
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's really good. Honestly, I feel like as Canadians, we have a little bit more of an appreciation for rye. I think that's what it is. I love that whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really did love. I love that bubblegum note that I got from the batch one, and I'm not getting it as much here. But this drinks like a bourbon.
Right. Well, I mean, it'd be interesting to see how much American rye, like the actual grain, is sourced in Canada.
That's a good point. The grain itself, like obviously, it has to be
not the distillate. I'm talking, but the grain itself.
Yeah.
I feel like they import a lot of Canadian rye. I'm not sure.
I know that I mean, I know that a lot of American companies buy a lot of Alberta rye, like whiskey.
Yeah.
And then barrel it.
Whistle Pig, for example.
Yeah, Whistle Pig. Alberta rye is huge. But Kentucky Owl, are they distilling and bottling their own stuff? Or like I know that they were around for a long time. They like stopped production, or maybe not stopped production, but at least stopped sales for many years, and then they started again last year, and it was a big deal. So I don't know. Is this their product?
I don't know if this is sourced. That's a question for our
bourbon junkies.
Our bourbon, like our American colleagues.
Yeah, guaranteed. Jason would know. Eric Waite saying that is like when I did Isla month, bourbon month, and Texas month. Eventually, I'll do a Canada month. Right on, man. I would love to try more Texas whiskey. We have no access to it.
Yeah, the only way we can get it is we can't.
It's very difficult, like through the States. But even then, a lot of them are distillery only things, or like small mom and pop shops.
Or they only their distribution is only a few states.
Right.
It's not like nationwide.
Yeah. So basically, Eric Waite, hook us up with some balcones. We have an address. You can send it to. We'll pay you.
We do have a U.S. address that you can ship to.
So yeah, I thought so. Jason's saying the mash bill is undisclosed, but a lot of insiders think it's sourced from Barton's.
Okay.
They use a high rye bourbon mash, and the Kentucky Owl is not barrel proof. Yeah, I didn't think this was a barrel proof because it doesn't it would say it on the bottle. That's usually a huge plug if it is.
Yeah. And it's usually a little bit more than 51% ABV.
Yeah. First batch was better. Everybody says that, and cheaper. Yeah, I think that's why everybody says it, to be honest with you. Because I don't have them side by side. Peter White has the rest of my Kentucky Owl, batch 1, and I loved it. I actually got my first batch from Claire the Third. But batch 2, I'm really enjoying. I think this is great stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I did try batch 1 a year ago, almost a year ago to the day.
Yeah. Yeah, you would have tried it at my old house.
Yeah.
It was good stuff, man. I mean, I really love that. My biggest regret is not stocking up on Michter's toasted barrel rye.
Yeah.
Because my God, that was good.
And now it's gone. And now it sells for $250 USD.
This doesn't need water. I love the char note that I get from it. It gives me a little bit of that bubblegum taste on the finish. But I feel like maybe if I add a drop of water, I'll get a little bit more. But I'm afraid.
I love that spiciness on the finish. It lingers for a long time too. The finish is pretty long. Yeah, that rye spice.
This is rye heavy, but not in the because it's such a heavily charred cask, and there's a good portion of corn in there maybe too. That's what's fooling us, I think, because the ones that we've tasted like this, for the most part, are that Michter's. Have you opened yours yet?
No.
So
maybe that's an open soon.
That's a great. I have a sample of that upstairs, thanks to Jason.
Claire the Third dropping, and then he's got 2 cases of Michter's toasted.
Of course, he would say something like that.
Well, let's trade.
Yeah,
let's trade.
We can think of something.
Trade it up. Oh, now I'm getting almost like a cinnamon note on the nose here. This thing's opening up. As it's sitting here, it's opening up even more.
I've gotten really good at just adding a splash of water with that big freaking bottle.
Eyedroppers are $1.99.
I have one upstairs. I just I've been contemplating this whole stream.
You need to get Whiskey in the Six
dropper. That's a great idea. Maybe I'll do that.
There you go. I'll buy one. Narby will buy one.
He needs one. Yeah, so a little bit of water makes this more rye forward. So I don't know if you want that or don't want that, but It drinks more like a bourbon without. Richie Z is saying, Rob, I am so enjoying rewatching the GOT series and just have 7 and 8 left to go. What are you and Jeremy's fave characters? So I named my daughter after one of the characters. So I gotta mention Arya Stark. Obviously, Jon Snow is my boy. Tyrion's the man. I loved what's his name? Why can't I think of him now?
Littlefinger.
Littlefinger was too slimy for me. What's his name? He came in with the crossbow and like season 8, pretending like he was gonna kill Jaime and Tyrion.
Oh,
B.
Bran.
B, not Bran.
Bronn.
Bronn. I love Bronn.
Yeah.
So he's up there. Like he's
That's
like top
Swami's
5
favorite
for me.
character.
He's awesome. He's so cool. I have like the biggest crush on Emilia Clarke. Like the biggest crush on her. Like
Of course.
she is like the definition of what like the perfect woman.
And
looks
this guy
like.
said he's never played Dungeons and Dragons before. I do not believe him.
Why? How is that affiliated?
Because if you like Emilia Clarke, then you are a huge nerd with a freaking boner for Dungeons and Dragons.
You don't like Emilia Clarke?
I think she's like I think she's obviously a very attractive, beautiful person, but I think that she's overrated as far as hotness scale.
Yeah? She's rated number 1 in the world right now. I don't believe that's
By
true.
who? By you?
No. Like those stupid magazines and such.
Okay, what do you guys think?
Wow.
Emilia Clarke, like number 1 on your Wayne and Garth swing list?
No,
or
she's
what?
not. I mean, she's not number 1 on my list, but like, I don't know. She's just. I think she's gorgeous. I think like she's up there.
Arya and Tyrion are my 2 favorite characters in the show.
Yeah. Badass characters.
I guess they were like the biggest like underdog stories. I guess I don't know like why I like them the most. So they're most interesting characters to me. But yeah, Arya, Tyrion.
I feel like so. You and I are gonna review this at the end of the month in July because I want to give it like some time to open up and whatever. But I'm loving this right now. Like I don't know what like the big.
Well,
do you know what I
we
think?
got? This is what we got to do. We got to bring out all of our best American ryes. And
A
go
rye,
boom, 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 boom.
a rye rundown.
Rundown. People call them shootouts.
Call it
Rundowns.
double
Head to
R.
heads. I'll bring back the Booker's Rye, which I still think is the best American whiskey I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, I gotta try that again because I feel
man.
like maybe I didn't have enough.
That whiskey is a magical beast.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'll crack open that Michter's. I got E.H. Taylor Rye. You've had that before?
I haven't actually. Oh no, I have. Peter White gave me a sample of the EH Taylor Rye.
It's nothing like gonna blow your head off, but it's solid.
Yeah, it's good. Richie Z is saying, I like how Arya can be a stone cold killer. Yeah, she's badass. And I mean, I'm not gonna say what she does, but she does some crazy shit. Scotty's saying, I like Selena best. Yeah, me too, man. She's awesome. Oh wait, that was underground. I still don't know what he's. Oh, so I think what he means by underground is what's that vampire werewolves movie?
Oh, Underworld.
Underworld. How did I know what he meant?
Is that what he's talking about?
That's what he's talking about. Selena was the mom of Kate Beckinsale. Well, okay, and it's funny that Scotty brings that up because Kate Beckinsale, I put them into like a category. So like Kate Beckinsale, Emilia Clarke, who else would fit in that category?
Kate Beckinsale is a freaking 10 out of 10 in my books.
Yeah, but like that's all like a very similar look if you like think about it. Like Emilia Clarke's actually a brunette. They got the blue eyes.
Kate Beckinsale.
The petite look. Like they're.
I wonder if Insectica is still watching, but I'm saying Kate Beckinsale is top.
She's a rocket. She used to be my number 1.
Yeah.
But like she's getting older too. Like she's in her like
man.
She's still gorgeous for like 50 or like
she
I don't know
is.
what she is.
Yeah,
now.
she's timeless.
But yeah.
Master Drum, Kate Beckinsale is a goddess.
Thank God, like almost 100% of my viewership is male, because this is getting real sexist real quick. Scarlett Johansson is up there for sure, 100%. Sansa, I mean, it sounds weird to say, but she's like becoming gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like she's in her mid-20s now.
I agree.
Clark and Beckinsale are in my top 2. Wow. See, so we have similar taste buds, Jolly.
Wes is up there.
Still watching. Booked. You know. Blame it on the whiskey.
Yeah. I think
you were very respectful.
Kate can appreciate a nice looking lady. I mean, you can't knock Kate Beckinsale.
How about some horror movie classics, like females?
Oh, well, that was their first episode.
Yeah, but I mean, like looks wise. So, like, I'm thinking like Scream. I'm thinking Drew Barrymore was like hot back in the day.
Drew Barrymore to me is like she's like a bit of like a two-face. Like sometimes I see her and I'm like, oh my god, she's like really attractive. Beautiful, and other times I'm just like, whoa. I'm not like whoa, but I'm like, you know, it's like, did I have beer goggles on every time I see her? I don't know.
She's continuously digressed with age. I think there's some women that are like ageless, like you said. Like Jennifer Lopez probably looks better now than she did 20 years ago, which is crazy.
Jennifer Lopez, yeah, absolutely.
Like, I think if you have a little bit of Latina blood in you, like you're just gonna get better looking with time. Like I don't know what happens there, but yeah, their genes are nuts.
So Caitlin's saying that Kate is not a 10 out of 10.
Kate is not a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
Not anymore. I wouldn't say she's a 10 out of 10 anymore, but I think she's gorgeous. Jennifer Aniston has dropped significantly. Mm. I like her a lot though. I was a big Friends fan. Did you like Friends?
Yeah, I did. I've seen every episode multiple times.
Yeah, me too.
There was a time, obviously, Jennifer Aniston would be considered the most attractive lady on that show, but Courtney Cox sometimes, like, you know, I don't know what's going on.
Cocaine does a lot of damage to Hollywood.
Partying does a lot of damage to your overall look.
Absolutely. Drinking, cocaine, all those things, not so bueno.
Just wait in 10 years when you see our channels and how haggard we're going to be.
I already am blotchiness. We gotta stop filming down here because like the lighting is just like really not working with my complexion.
We need a like professional lighting studio.
Richie C is saying, "What are your guys' favorite horror films of all time?" Woo! I like that question, Richie. He loves The Shining. So films. I'm glad he was specific because he said The Shining, and as you know, I'm a book buff as well.
Yes.
I don't appear to be a book buff. I don't articulate like a book buff.
Right, yeah, your vocabulary is very elementary.
But yeah.
Speaking of The Shining, just saw a preview for the newest installment of when, I forget the character's name, the kid in The Shining. Anyway, he, as an adult, they're doing a movie on that. So, like, that's cool. It's a Stephen King. I don't know if it's a Stephen King written book or screenplay adaptation. I'm not sure. Caitlin, if you're there, let me know. But him as an adult, that movie's coming out this year.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool. Danny, that's his name. Thank you.
Danny is The Shining. My favorite of all time. Honestly, like I'm a huge fan of Scream, and it's because of like when we grew up. I was in grade 8 or 9 when that movie came out, and like I just thought it was like such a cool slasher. Everybody likes the slasher that they grew up with, right? Like some people are like the big Halloween fans or Freddy fans or whatever. But my favorite, I feel like the movie that scared me the most was Sinister.
Okay. Yeah.
Like next to The Conjuring Part 1, Sinister scared me the most because like.
But that's like you were like.
I was an adult.
You were.
I wasn't.
You were like 25 when that came out.
That movie scared the shit out of me.
You were older than that.
I was, and I did not sleep well for like that night for sure. It was you know what it was? It was those like home movies in that movie.
Yeah.
Like, and the music in the background, and like it was just, I thought it was really well done. Sinister.
Exorcist for me as a kid, watching that had some lasting effects, and Pet Sematary 1, that one as well. I love that movie. I love that Pet Sematary.
Both great movies.
Gage, my boy.
How about like The Conjuring? Like, tell me you didn't jump out of your skin when like you heard when they're playing clap hide and seek.
I love that whole series, the whole Conjuring series, the Annabelle, all that stuff.
Yeah,
great.
Part 1 was phenomenal though. Yeah. Like phenomenal.
Horror is like making a comeback. They're getting more and more high quality directors, producers, actors involved with horror, it seems now, and the quality is coming out, because before it was just like cheap teenage slasher, blah blah, terrible acting, whatever. It seems like nowadays more money is into the genre, is kind of becoming more respectable.
Well, I mean, would you consider Silence of the Lambs a horror?
Yes, I was thriller.
Thriller? Okay,
yeah,
that's fine.
I would say thriller.
All right.
Yeah,
because that like was like critically acclaimed, all kinds of
No, I wouldn't say
awards and whatever else.
I mean, if you look at movies like the original Saw, I thought was a great movie.
That was an incredible movie,
and I thought every sequel was worse and worse and worse.
That's
and that's kind of like where horror was, like Saw sequels, like gore, like fucking like slasher, just unnecessary violence kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah, like Saw 1 had a concept. It was an excellent concept.
It was a great movie.
There's Hostel. Hostel 1 was pretty good.
Yeah.
After that, like it just got like messy. It was just dumb.
And then you get stuff like Human Centipede. And
that
then
I never watched. I couldn't. I just...
A buddy of mine played a drinking game to watch it.
Oh no!
So every time we like had to look away, that was a drink. Every time we were like, oh, that's a drink. Every time anytime anything happened, anytime someone like ate someone else's poop, was a drink. We turned it off. We didn't watch the rest of it.
Yeah,
it's just like it's like torture porn. It's just like
I can't watch that.
It's torture porn.
I'm done with that. I'm like that part of that chapter of my life is closed. Like I'm not going back to that. Peter White saying Brightburn. I don't know if I know that.
Brightburn. You know what the most underrated horror movie of all time is? The original Spanish subtitled REC. There was a remake in America called Quarantine, but I'm talking about the original.
Okay.
It was a phenomenal movie. If you haven't seen the original REC, Spanish subtitled, but it is scary as hell. Loved it. It was my favorite of all time, I think.
I love me a good zombie movie.
I loved 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later.
Those were both awesome.
Love those ones.
I loved Zombieland. Zombieland was like one of the most. I don't even know what genre that is.
More comedy.
Like horror comedy.
More comedy
genre. Like it's not scary, but there are parts where like you jump.
Yeah.
But just a great movie.
Yeah.
Loch Ness is saying Silence of the Lambs is one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah,
nice call.
Yeah.
Richie Z saying, did either of you like Hostel? I liked Hostel. I thought that was a great concept. Again, it was a little too gory for me.
I did like the the one scene that kind of I wish they didn't have in was when they escape and the girl who had her face blowtorched has like the eyeball just like hanging down from a thread. Yeah. And the guy's like, let me get that for you. And just clips it off.
Yeah, it's a little much.
That was a little much for me.
Richie Z saying the original Quarantine in Spanish was phenomenal. Eric Waite saying, I saw the most horrifying documentary the other day. It was called Prohibition.
That is scary.
That was terrifying.
That's an 11-year-long movie.
Leave it to an Italian to correct that, though. Got the Gottis taking care of that stuff. I want more of this. Honestly, I know people said that the Batch one was like way better than this, but I I can't find something wrong with that. Is there a reason why they use a bottle that's very similar to like an E.H. Taylor?
That's a good question. That is like an E.H. Taylor bottle, isn't it?
Are they sourcing from Buffalo Trace? Barton's.
Barton's.
That's the rumor, but that's not proven. I can have a little more.
What's the deal with American distilleries falling apart? The rick houses are just coming down. You know what I read it was? It's like a type of termite.
That exists only in like the presence of alcohol.
I don't know, but those rick houses are just like they're like a Jenga board, like a Jenga wall.
Yeah. Well, it happened to what 1792 or 93.
Yeah, and then more recently, oh man, I forget now. You've seen it though, right?
No, I haven't seen the most.
Oh, rick house came down like last week.
Really?
Yeah.
You want more?
Yeah, Rick House came down last week. It was a distillery that does. Oh, goodness, I totally forget. There was one brand name that you totally recognize. The other is someone can tell me what it was.
So, Mash and Drum saying, I can tell you, Kentucky Owl Confiscated is made by Bardstown Bourbon Company. TJ saying, they are storing too much weight in those rick houses equals need to drop prices and sell more. That's a good point. Claire the Third saying, I've got 3 more of batch 2 if you want one. And Claire the Third never passes up on an opportunity to make a sale. He's like, I heard Rob likes that. I want to get rid of these 3 bottles. Rob's my man. We'll talk, Claire. I'm actually very curious about those Michter's toasted barrels that you have, so maybe we can work something out. Scotch Test Dummy Scotty is saying, is that Rob on your shirt, Jeremy?
Yeah, it is.
You know what? I would be offended, but that's one of the best rock stars of all time. So, so I'll take it, and all the implications included in there. Richie Z is saying, you're both quietly having some really awesome drams. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
I know, right?
We had some great whiskey tonight. And the Scotch 4 Dummies are starting, I believe, any minute now. So we will enjoy these privately because we've already enjoyed one with you guys present. I thought we had some great conversation tonight.
Yeah. We stepped into some horror talk. That's kind of cool.
You know what? We got to have Kaylin on the show.
We should.
Plug her channel one more time and then plug your channel.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So,
so like now would be.
If you guys are into horror and you want to hear 2 awesome girls talk about horror genre, everything from movies to books to video games, check out This Horrible Place. They post on YouTube, and you can go to thishorribleplace.com to check out everything they have there. You know where I am, Sipper Social Club. Coming up on the show, next video will be top 5 Scotch whiskeys for the intermediate drinker. So once you pass that beginner threshold, you're looking for us to expand out. I got 5 whiskeys that I think everyone will probably agree with me on, or maybe not. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's coming out soon.
I'm excited to find your choices. Actually, I might have a good suspicion as to what they are, but
Springbank 12 cash strength is on there.
It's a beauty.
It is a beauty,
That's
right?
one of the best.
Yeah.
And as you guys know, American Whiskey Month starting in a couple of days. So this Tuesday will be the first review in American Whiskey Month. For those of you experiencing Canada Day, happy Canada Day, because I will probably miss you for that. I don't know exactly what day that falls on.
Canada Day is on Monday, July 1st.
So,
and I'm going to be on 12 Hours of Boom with Scotch Test Dummies July 6th.
Beauty.
That's Saturday.
Nice. So 12 Hours of Boom, July 6th.
Yeah.
2 days after Independence Day, which is the American big holiday of the year, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
So Canada has July 1st, Canada Day. America, obviously, July 4th, Independence Day.
So I will see you guys. You said Monday is July, so July 2nd, and then we will be live on Independence Day if all goes well.
Cool.
All right. Hope you guys are doing well. Have a good night, and please join the Scotch for Dummies if you haven't subscribed to them already. They'll be going live any minute now.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.